Okay, hello everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. 3 o'clock Central Time in the U.S. I think we've got some people from all over the world joining us, and a good group of folks that have joined in. I recognize a lot of the names on here, but just in case you don't know me, my name is Dennis Smeltzer. I am the president of TSANet, and what we're going to do today is kind of walk through this new interface for the TSANet website. And I want to give you a sort of a sneak peek at what it's going to look like. But let me kind of set the stage a little bit. And before I get started, I should mention we've got a couple staff members on the line with us. Paul Esch is with us. He is our director of business development and all of our strategic initiatives. A lot of this, what you're going to see here today, is his doing. And then Stephanie Benson, who's been with us for a long time, is with us out of the UK and stayed up late. So thanks, Stephanie, for that. Let me go ahead and kind of dive into this a little bit. Before we get into the web and show you the interface, I want to kind of set the stage for the big picture here, what's going on with TSANet. And we have had a lot of initiatives here recently that are now starting to be implemented and coming into focus. And I think 2014 is going to be an implementation year, so to speak, for us, because a lot of these things that we've been strategizing and working with the members on are starting to come together. So the other things that you may have heard of, and if you want to get more information, I highly recommend that you get a hold of Paul or myself, and we'll be able to talk to you. But the CRM connectors, a lot of interest in that, and there's been a lot of really good work being done there. The ability for you to stay within your CRM system and engage and work with another vendor and keep that without having to go out of your CRM system, that's being worked on. As well as within the custom group area, we've seen a lot of need to maybe pull in some other areas like the ability for you to exchange knowledge with your partners or other strategic partners that you might have. So what we've done is developed this custom group microsite that we'll have, and you'll be able to see in future webinars. But the idea behind that being that it would give everybody a method and a mechanism for them to be able to exchange knowledge about whatever that strategic group might be, or in a partner program. As well as training. So maybe you want to post some stuff up there about training for this particular set of products or something like that that has to do with your custom group. So these are other initiatives that are going on I wanted to mention because it's kind of part of the bigger picture. All this stuff is being worked on, and you'll see a lot of it come up in 2014. Certainly, as being a member-driven organization as we are, if you've got information that you want to either give to us, or this is what I want, or this is what I'd like to see, that's gold to us. So we would really like your feedback and participation in that. But again, what we're going to focus on here today is this member collaboration web, and this has been I think you're going to like what you're going to see. This certainly is still in development stage, but I think you'll like where we're headed with it. So here was the goals that we had behind it, right? One was we need to modernize it. It had been quite some time since we've really done something to the interface. Now everybody's got tablets and smartphones and iPads and things like that, so we need to make sure it was going to work on all those devices. So that was one of the first things that we did from a development standpoint, is say this has got to work in these new methods. So we've done that, and when this comes out, that will work. The other thing is you kind of see this personalization of tiles, and we'll get into that when you actually see what we've done here. But the idea is that, you know, eventually what you'd want to do with the TSANet website is get to the process of engagement for another company. And what we've done is taken and made that a tile. And so if you all might be familiar with this concept behind these encrypted URLs, the ability for you to go to a specific process document, we've actually just taken that concept and made it more visually appealing with this tile thing. And I'll actually show you how that works, and we'll set up a tile and all that kind of stuff. The other thing that we did that we've had a problem with for years was that with this group, the ability to have group logins, which is just imperative in these in the bigger companies, because you never know who's going to need to engage somebody else. But that you needed to, we never knew who was logging in because they'd all come in under one login. So we've kept this group concept in place. What we're going to do is then capture who is wanting to engage another member, so we know who that is. And I think that's not only going to be important for us to be able to say, you know, who's doing that, but important for you as those familiar with TSANet to know who within your organizations are using it, or perhaps even not using it, and why they're not using it. So we're gonna add that ability in. When we get into the administration piece of how all this works, you know, I really would like some feedback. There's some excellent people on this call that are good administrators, and we could use your help when we get into the administration piece of that. The other thing, I think we did a good job of our how-to videos and things like that. The problem is that they're not exactly in your face if you needed it. So what we're going to do is kind of integrate that a little bit more, and then also pull in some of the marketing things. So many of you, I've done introduction to how-to TSANet webinars. And wouldn't it be cool if we could go ahead and put up in there something personal that said, hey, there's a webinar on TSANet or a webinar on this strategic group that we've created or something like that, so we can personalize the marketing for the company. So that's one of the things that we're working on. Number 5 is probably the biggest thing and probably has the biggest challenges with it that we'll need to work through, and that is, if you've been familiar with TSANet before, you know that everybody's process document can be everywhere, and a lot of companies do it one way, another company will do it another way, and sometimes to get through that process can be a very long, drawn-out, documented story of how to engage. So what we've decided to do is, where we certainly would not be in a position as an organization to try to dictate to anybody how they should accept an engagement from another company. What we can do is we can make the system more streamlined and kind of put a little bit of standards around how you do this, so that it makes it easier for you to engage, or easier for that engineer to engage. So you're going to see some things here. What it means from the challenge perspective for the members is that we're probably going to have to go back and look at your process documents and see how we can streamline and simplify it and put it into these categories. So we'll talk about that a little bit when I show you the web as well. Again, these content feeds in the main page area, again, we want to perhaps personalize that. You'll see where there's an area in there where we've got that. New features that we're going to support: click to call, click to chat, and again, this knowledge exchange and training exchange, all stuff that's built into this microsite that we're going to be working with the custom groups. And I know that many of you on this call are part of custom groups, and we're putting a lot of effort into that, because that seems to be, outside of the big open groups that everybody's participating in, that's the future direction of TSANet as far as enhancements to the ability for you to engage and work with your partners or other companies within the TSANet area. One of the things that I will mention is that we're going to show you when I show you the web here, that we've included in this, is that there are actually hundreds of companies in TSANet that, unless you're part of a custom group, you didn't know that. So what we've done is actually enhanced the directory to show you all of these members, but also give you the ability to go, oh, you know, I really need to be able to work with this company, and I need some help doing that. So I think that's also going to be a major impact for our members, to actually be able to see what we call limited members within the TSANet area. A little bit on the timeline here, just to let you know, this thing got started back in Q1 of 2013. Been working on getting the strategy developed and what we were going to do and how we were going to do it. Now we're into the building mode, as I mentioned, right? We're into actually executing on a lot of these projects and making things work. Our intent is to have this new site for the web come out on August 22nd. And then shortly thereafter, we'll have a lot of other enhancements that we're going to we're going to have out to you in these other areas that I've already mentioned. Okay, so enough of that. Let's look at it. Right? Let me get back in here. Okay, lost my bookmark. And what I'm first gonna do is I'm gonna log in as a caller, just a standard caller. And what I've done here, just so you're going to see, I haven't imported the entire database. In fact, what I've done is just taken a few companies and put them in here, assigned them groups, and then I took some process documents and made them non-confidential, so we don't have to worry about that. But one of the companies I set up in here was VMware, and set it up as a caller. So what you see now is kind of the new interface here. So what you've got is the ability to have these tiles up here. Again, what I would note on this is that not only have you got the company, but then you've also got the support division or department as we know it now within the system, and also then you're color-coded on what category of member that they are. So right now I've got DataCore in here as a basic member and Citrix is in here as a premium member. Again, I'm loaded in here as VMware. Okay, in the directory down here, and again you can see I've just loaded just a couple of companies here, but you notice this Globex company down here. Well, that in this particular demo, what I've done is I've set this up to be a Globex, which is a fictitious company by the way, is a partner of Citrix Systems, and I set up a custom group between Citrix and Globex. So I, as VMware, do not have a relationship with Globex. And you notice that it's kind of grayed out there a little bit. I think we want to maybe enhance this between the gray and the bold a little bit. But if I click on Globex, you see what comes up there, and I'll see if I can make this bigger for everybody. All right, it says, you know, that they are not, they're a TSANet member, but they don't participate in a mutual relationship with you. And again, we think this is going to be a really good thing for our members because you'll be able to see who all of these companies are that are in TSANet, and we'll make it very easy for them to establish a relationship with you. So you know, you'll come through us, we'll engage them, tell them that you know, this other company wants to have a relationship with you, and we could do that through a custom group or an open group or whatever it is. Obviously, we work with you on that. So this invite doesn't invite the member directly. We were told by a lot of members, I don't know that I want everybody with the ability to do that. I'd like it to come through some kind of a channel to management to make sure that, you know, maybe we don't have something that we're working on or whatever. So we have the ability for you to do that. Okay, so I think that's an important feature. Kind of the guts of this thing is I'm going to go up to the Americas Support Division of Citrix as VMware as a caller. And you notice now, obviously, the new interface is here. And here is before you call, here's the information we need. My guess is we probably need to get rid of these checkboxes as they don't do anything. But then you notice here that what we've got is a primary, we have a primary, a secondary, and a third alternative for you to engage the company. In this particular case, the way this one was set up is you have to register before you can actually place a call. So what we did was we made this a contact process, and this area right here is something you as a manager will actually be able to put in there and say, okay, this is what this is. In other words, Citrix put in registration process, okay, and down here in this one they put in sub 1 through sub 4. So that's customizable to each one. As far as the processes themselves, it is a contact process, place a call, send an email, click to chat, and log a case. Those are the 5 areas that you can pick, and we have icons for each one of them. So again, this is all free text area here. Okay, and if I go down here, here's another one. This is obviously the place a call icon. Again, this is customizable to say whatever it is that you want to say. Again, this is a free text area with links. We did some enhancements on the on the text editor here. I had some problems with that, so I actually got a new one in there. It works great. I think everybody's going to love it. And then as the alternative, right, here's a tac-to-tac engagement process that you have here. And then down toward the bottom, you've got escalation. Now, you don't have to do all three. If you only do one, then only one will show up. Okay? But I think that you're all going to like this much, much better. I think the format is pretty clean. It seems very crisp to me, and very, it's very clean as far as how it's presented to the members. The other thing, and here's your escalation, by the way, down here, and then you've got document feedback like you always have in the old system as well. The other thing to mention is that, and this will be in a future webinar, and where we get into how your process documents will look to everybody else or to your partners, is that we've actually created a wizard. So when you go to create a new process document, you'll actually go through a wizard format, and it will show you, the steps that you go through to set up these kind of things. So I think it's going to look very, very, very nice. Okay, and I'm going to show you a little bit of how you do that. Actually, it's not quite ready for prime time, so I'm going to log in as an administrator in a minute to show you that. But before we do that, the other piece that I wanted to go ahead and show you was, as a caller, I'm going to log in as a limited caller. So I'm in a one-to-one relationship with Citrix, as I mentioned, this fictitious Globex company. And we'll click on login, and that didn't work. Okay, let me try one more time here. There we go. Sorry, got my passwords mixed up there. So in this particular case, right, I can't engage any other company in this, so I'm going to get that message down there that says you only have a relationship, because the only relationship that I have in this particular case is with Citrix. So I would be able to, it will automatically, from a partner's perspective, automatically put that tile up there. They'll be able to see all the open group members, but they obviously won't be able to engage them. And it'll come up with that same message that says, if you need to engage this company. So this thing is going to work both ways. If you have got a partner you want to get in or to engage, we can help you do that. And if the partner wants to engage with you and have a relationship, then they will also be able to get in touch with us, and we can tell you, hey, this company would like to have a relationship with you. And again, we go back in here, right, we've got, in this particular case, I've only got two methods, a primary one, and this is a self-help one. I put that in myself, right, as a contact process, and then there was a place to call, and there's the place to call, and then you've got the escalation. Okay? So I think it looks pretty good. The other thing that I was going to show you, and then what I'd like to do is maybe ask if you've got any questions, would like to do that. But let me show you this first. I'm going to log in as the system administrator, just to give you an idea of how this would work. And again, I think this is, when we get into the process document area, this is where it's going to become kind of key to you. But I'll go back to Citrix here, and I'll pick this Americas Support Division. And this is all how you identify the department or division. And then obviously in this case, what I'm doing is selecting the community that the process document applies to. I can by default come over here and do some things here. We're obviously typically to stay out of that. I can, if I want to, also make it to where this particular document is only viewable to a particular company if I wanted to do that. And again, here's departmental information, and then here's where you get into the process document. And what I was talking about before, as far as that, the contact method being one of those five, there's the process you do, and then that pushes up that icon that everybody sees. And then here is where you put in whatever you want that optional thing to read if you would like to do that. And then again, you've got just basic text down here. And again, an enhanced text editor, if you're familiar, we can do links, we can add pictures, we can put processes. So all that kind of stuff, I think, is really going to be really key for everybody to see how they can put these in and make it very clean and crisp on how the other companies are to engage you. Okay, I think that's really where I wanted to go ahead and stop. Again, right, we've got a couple of user IDs on the blog that's set up. We've got a beta admin and a beta caller. Both of the passwords for that are test. And then the community.beta.tsanet.org. If you want to come in and kind of take a look at it, play around with it a little bit, certainly please go ahead and do that if you'd like to show other people. We did record this webinar, and we'll put it up there and let you know where it's at, so in case you wanted to send this around to anybody else. But let me stop there. Paul, anything I missed that you wanted me to cover? And you're on mute, I think.
No, I think you covered everything pretty well. I think the one piece maybe you don't see here is the different types of contact methods, and then also the more detailed instructions. But I think what we can do, for the kind of benefit of the folks on the call here, like I said, use those beta logins, play around on the site yourself, right? Create one of these process documents, kind of see how the different functionality works.
Okay, very good. If you've got a question or a comment, if you would raise your hand, not literally, but via the webinar, I'll recognize you and unmute you. And if not, we'll let everybody have 8 more minutes left of their day.
Yeah. Well, one other thing, Dennis, if we don't get any questions, it might be helpful for people to kind of understand on the home page those 4 icons that are below the tiles and just kind of what those do as far as kind of configuring what the tiles are.
Let me go back to that. I don't know that that's functional, by the way. Let me do the beta admin and test. But you're referring to these right here, these 4.
Exactly. So
you want to go ahead and walk through? I mean,
so maybe we just describe a little bit on what these are. So how you add a tile to the tile section is to go to a members process document. You'll see a little icon there that says add tile. Once you have set up your tiles, of course, you can edit that area, remove some. That's in that one to the far right, the add/edit. So you'll see there where it kind of brings up a little editor where you can remove tiles. If you select the recent, it will show you the recent process documents that you've selected. And then the favorites are where if you have a login to the website, you can define favorites that are different than what your company's tiles are, right? So it's set up to where you can have a default tile view for your entire company, and the admin sets that up. But each user also could define their favorites that they use. So if you have a engineer that's working in a particular product area, he only interfaces with 2 or 3 companies. He can certainly configure this personalized to himself as well. So it's kind of these 2 different layers of personalization, a company level as well as an individual level.
And in fact, I said I was going to show everybody how to add a tile, and I didn't do it. So let me go ahead and pick a company here. We'll go to DataCore. And there it's simple as that, add to dashboard. And now if I go back, there it is. So that's simple. Anything else, Paul, that you want to add?
No, I think that's probably, if you scroll down, you'll see some of the other areas. So again, there's the search, there's the Rolodex feature, and then you'll see the content area towards the bottom as well. And again, our thoughts there will start kind of simple, but then certainly over time that will be personalized as well. So if you had, for example, a piece of content that as an administrator you wanted to make sure that your engineers in your company were seeing, you could put that there. Or if you had a particular custom group and you wanted to highlight some content. So I think we'll start to explore the different members, kind of what functionality we want to see there.
Let me see if I can do this. I know Wendy's asked a question here, and I'm trying to get to the point where I can read it. And it doesn't appear that the pane is not letting me do that.
You might be able to unmute her.
It might be the easiest way to do it. She's actually typed in a question, but I can't see the whole question. So let me go back to Wendy. Wendy, I'm going to unmute your line here. If you could ask. There we go. Could you ask that question verbally, Wendy? Whoop. Are you there, Wendy?
Here I am. Can you hear me, Dennis?
Yes, I can.
All right. Yeah. Thanks for letting me talk. This is Wendy from DataCore. I had a question about click to chat. I noticed that that's one of the features in when you were setting up the different processes. Is that working now? And if so, can you explain how that works?
It's a good question, right? I mean, I think we tried to click to chat, and I believe we ran into a snag, right, with your particular process, right? So I don't know that I'd have to go back, quite honestly, to the developer and ask him what else he's done with that. We certainly want to make sure that when we roll that out, that it is working. I'm trying to remember, maybe you can refresh my memory. Did we run into a problem from a development perspective that we couldn't make click to chat work on your side?
We never got that far in the development phase, at least not on our side, but I wasn't sure if you had tested it with other products and other people were using it. And we just need more development.
Yeah, we do have it working in other companies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think kind of the thought here is it could be as simple as pasting some code in there from your website. It could be a link to open up a little chat window, or it could be something a little bit more complex. And I think in that situation we would end up syncing up your IT team with the developer of the site. So I think kind of depending on what chat system you use, kind of what's the level of integration. Do you need to pass some information from a member when you're doing the chat? Some of that will define, kind of exactly what happens when you go to that section. But I'd say if you're interested in doing click to chat, then definitely let us know. We should be able to get that working.
I'm interested in doing that. We have syndicated widgets for our website, so if we can add them to the pages, that would be great.
Perfect. Yeah,
okay.
We'll put that on the list, Dennis.
Yep, sure will. Thanks, Wendy. Let's see, Tola, I think you got something. Tola, I'm going to go ahead and just unmute you. Go ahead.
This is Tola. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I was just going to ask, I know you mentioned something about the beta site and the usable accounts for playing around. I thought if you could just send the details to me, or I mean, unless that's a problem.
No. Actually, we can do that. It's also on the main website. There's a blog, and the test accounts are on that blog.
Oh, right. Okay.
So you can get in. Again, I'll tell you what they are real quickly, just so you have them. It's beta admin.
Wait, hold on a sec. All right, beta admin.
And beta caller. And both the passwords for those are test. Everything is lowercase.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't know if the blog's showing on the home page anymore. Probably what we could do, Dennis, I could make that a sticky blog and have it be the very first one showing up.
It is not. In fact, if you can do that, that would be great, because it's not. You have to go.
Yeah, we'll do that. So then all you have to do is go to the TSANet homepage, and you'll see the very first blog will be about the beta of the website.
Okay.
Okay, I think that's it, and we are like 1 minute, so to the bottom of the hour. So there's no more questions. We'll go ahead and close it down. I want to thank everybody for, we had, again, a great group of folks that came on the webinar. So it's really exciting stuff for us. I mean, I think you're really going to like this interface, and please, again, help us make it what it is that you want it to be for yourself. So thanks a lot, and we'll be in touch with you soon.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.